Yo, YouTube, what's up? It's your homeboy Gab. I'm in the building. I want to bring to you Blood on Their Hands Part 2. How the war on rap music was really a war on Tupac Shakur. Now, I played in Part 1 Tupac's song Don't Stop the Music, where he kind of outlined exactly what he was up against. And you kind of see who was like the figurehead of that whole movement, Miss C. Dolores Tucker. Now, one of the people in the comments section brought to my attention that C. Dolores Tucker had passed away. And I actually forgot. I didn't know that. It's one of those things that was in the pocket of my mind that I forgot all about. So she's deceased. So in no way is this video meant to be disrespectful to C. Dolores Tucker. I don't disrespect the dead. That's one of the reasons why I had a gripe with Whack 100 and Funkmaster Flex, because even children know you shouldn't disrespect the dead. I remember being in like middle school, elementary school, we'd be playing the dozens, me and a kid. Your mother's so fat, and this, that, and the third. Your grandmother's so fat. Niggas say, oh, wait a minute, my grandmother dead. And what the little kids say, oh, my bad. Even children know not to speak ill of the dead. So with that being said, this is my opinion based off me spending time analyzing, backtracking, and covering facts. What happened? Did the government get involved with Tupac Shakur, and why? Okay, before anybody rush to judgment, let's look at some things real quick. Now, when they assemble a team to like go on these other countries and, to do what they see fit for whatever reasons, they need justification. You need distress. You need probable cause, right? So you get somebody to demonize rap music and to show cause to go inside and infiltrate the infrastructure of it. So you look at it like this. If you get an old white guy or an old white woman, it's too obvious. For whatever reason, people could point out their disdain for rap music. You could pick that apart. So you get an older black woman who really don't understand the culture, who's not from the culture, they only point out the negative aspects to her. The womanizing, the violence, the things that she stood up against in life. They pointed that out to her in the music. So she was the perfect, figurehead to put in the forefront of this Stop the Rap campaign, attack on gangster rap, right? All right, so now you got somebody that's demonizing rap music, and you got a call for distress. So now you have the infrastructure to go ahead and get it popping. So then you have the hip hop police come into play. They came into play like around 1994. These guys were actually covering the rap artists. The concerns was no longer with just the music, but it was the artists that was being under surveillance, that, was being followed, being watched, being monitored. Tupac and Biggie both died under this surveillance by the hip hop police or the FBI. That's also facts. All right. So the kind of stress that C. Dolores Tucker and this anti-rap music coalition that was formed put on the major corporations was paramount. Okay. They was threatening the large bodies of the distribution companies like Warner Brothers, Time Warner, Sony, Universal. They was taking these people to task because they saying you making money off of this negativity. Control your animals, control your fucking monkeys, is what they were saying to him. Time Warner couldn't control an artist like Tupac. He was a major headache for Jimmy Iovine over at Interscope and everybody else involved. So I believe a deal was made. One of the telling things was when Tupac couldn't get to his own royalties when he was locked up in the prison. And you saying the record label, froze his bank account. I don't think it was the record label. I think it was the government. They froze his accounts, couldn't get to his money. They wanted him in prison. Then here comes Suge Knight. Suge Knight was able to buy this guy's time, and he was able to go to death row, and you know what happened. But it seems so well put together. I'm not saying that Suge was part of, sometimes you could be used like a puppet, not even know it. You be wanting yourself, Suge be saying, how the hell I pull this off? But instead of looking at the bigger picture, he thinking he just good at what he do. Yeah, I talked to him. Hey, I went there and pumped Jimmy Iovine. I talked to him. He gave me Suge Knight he gave me Tupac with no problem. Let's be clear, they didn't want Tupac no more. Tupac said it in the song Don't Stop the Music. He was dropped. Did I cry when they dropped me? Hell no, they can't stop me. Something like that. He was actually dropped. All right? I don't know if it was public, but they didn't want nothing else to do with him. All right? And that's how Suge was able to get Tupac. But it's like the domino effect. You ever play dominoes? Well, not the actual game dominoes, but like you ever set a bunch of dominoes up and you knock one down and they all fall the way they're supposed to? It's like things fell right into place, but it was well structured. It wasn't by accident. It was actually masterful how they designed it. That's why you can't find a killer, because there was so many different moving parts into play. But like I said, C. Dolores Tucker, I don't think, she knew that what she was actually doing was detrimental to Tupac. I think she was trying to put some restraint and some responsibility on some of these artists. But, the most controversial artist, the guy who embodied everything that she had a problem with, was personally attacked and personally affected by, her spearheading the war on rap music. So when people say C. Dolores Tucker called the dogs on Tupac, what she did was she gave them the ammunition to go ahead and do what they had been plotting the whole time. This guy's a problem. Like they say, his music had no place in society. I remember some time ago, Tupac had a beef with Dan Quayle, the vice president. And, Tupac's first album, I know, his Black Panther upbringing is, that didn't help at all. That really made him a target from the outstart of things. But that first album, Tupacalypse Now with Words of Wisdom, if you ever listen to that, I'm going to do a video about that separately. That right there put a bullseye on Tupac when he was saying that America should be scared of him and that, America's guilty of murder, rape, kidnapping, and, just holding down the whole black race. That's what Tupac was openly saying. And he was telling young black men to fight back, shoot the police and everything else. Man, this guy was a huge problem. And like I said, well, for them, he was a huge problem. He was a hero to us because he said what a lot of us thought and what a lot of us felt. And that's why he's still missed in my community. I know I miss him because ain't nobody pick up the baton and try to carry on a man's work. Tupac had a plan for black folks. He wasn't perfect. He was young. But each year he got more wiser. And he got, his understanding. And he was becoming more and more of a threat. Could you imagine the wisdom a 25-year-old Tupac had? Imagine a 45-year-old Tupac or 35-year-old Tupac. Come on, man. This guy was on his way to doing some big things. And like I said, he was the Pied Piper. He attracted all the children to him. White, black, Chinese. It's funny, that Tupac was pro-black. And a lot of white people can't even hear what he's saying. They act like they don't hear it. And I'm not dissing nobody. I'm just saying that's how powerful he was. He said songs, fuck white people with everything else. And they still support him because he was something special. So, she made the, in my hood, people looking out the window or calling the police, they say she's making the block hot. Dolores Tucker made the block hot. When somebody like Tom Wiley, who Tupac wanted to get away from, or he disassociated himself with Tupac. It's funny how at the end, he weaseled his way back to Tupac's catalog, and now he's in charge of everything. Funny how that worked, right? So here it is in a nutshell. Alright? See Dolores Tucker and the war on rap music and her constituents through the government put enough pressure on these major corporations and distributors that if you can't control your artists, we're going to shut your companies down. We're going to stop your money flow. Control these goddamn niggas. Alright? The ones they couldn't control, they got rid of. They disassociated themselves with. They didn't want nothing else to do with Tupac. Nothing else to do with him. That's like you work at Walmart and you get into it with a customer and they call, corporation to get you fired. That's what she did. She made enough noise till they start weeding artists out. Or the artist that wasn't willing to conform and change the tenor of their music. Yeah, but there's so much more I can say about it. But I'm going to wrap this up really quick. You think Jimmy Iovine thought the war on rap music was a joke after he spoke with them people? Yeah, he thought they was joking. He thought they were joking so much that he let his number one selling artist at the time walk away scot-free. Real funny, right? I don't know if Suge Knight took it serious because him and Death Row Records refused to stop making gangster rap. Kind of hear Tupac on All Eyes on Me, taunting Dolores Tucker. Dolores Tucker used a mother. He said, you destroy your brother worse than the others. He was upset because she cost him his job. He knew how serious it was. Bill Clinton, Mr. Bob Dole. You hear him saying all of those things. He knew they was listening, man. He knew he was on the radar, man. No doubt about it. But you think Suge knew it was legit? He knew it was real after seeing Tupac get shot, after getting put in jail and losing his record label because they refused to stop making gangster rap? That's what it all boiled down to. Ask yourself this last question. I ask you this. Out of all the gangster rappers and the gangster rap labels in the 90s, who was the biggest? Let's do it in order. The biggest, well-known, controversial gangster rapper was who? Tupac. And the biggest, well-known, controversial gangster rap record label was who? Death Row. And both of them gone. Or maybe the plan was to let Tupac die in prison. And that was the punishment for Suge for bailing him out. After they told nobody to touch him, they told everybody to stand down. Let him sit. He's stuck. He can't go nowhere. He can't get to his money. Jimmy Iovine, them, nobody touching him. Now comes Suge. He won him. They couldn't stop Suge. Suge get him out, or they let Suge get him out. They still killed Pac. And the punishment for that, Suge wound up in prison. Of course, they ain't gonna say that's what it was, but he wound up in prison. And they took his record label from him, and he never got back on his feet again. How you explain that? A multi-$100 million man reduced to nothing. The war on gangster rap. Peace.
All this gangster rap and misogynist lyrics. Music that glorifies and promotes violence.
Just go out to C. Dolores Tucker, Bob Dole,
it's just so
anybody else that feel like they stronger than the Constitution. Freedom of speech, big baby.
They're going against
Freedom of
society. I
speech.
don't understand the music. It's too loud. It's too loud. It's too rowdy. It's too violent. Let's ban all rap music. Ban Tupac. Ban the outlaw immortals. Ban. You can't break me, never make me bust the softer beats. This outlaw style got a brother off the streets. Mr. Laura Tucker, sue me, I won't stop till we get justice for these crooked cops on my block. Time Warner full of sissies, tell them all to miss me. A bunch of hypocrites whistling Dixie. Good riddance, cause you never should've touched me. You cowards knew you couldn't take the pressure, I'ma make it soft. Trust me, and cry when they drop me. Can they stop me? Trying to suffer me, you copies. If I wasn't spitting, it'd be prison to death. This rap game, all we